and gentlemen, we'd like to get started pretty quickly, so if you could get to your seats, that would be great. If we could take our seats, please. Good morning. Welcome to the graduates, friends, and families, Acting Superintendent Dr. Todd McGuire, members of the school committee, faculty, and staff. Today we are celebrating Nashoba Regional High School's class of 2021. I need to also thank the Facilities and Maintenance Department, who did an outstanding job of drying off all the chairs and everything out here today. It was just unbelievable. And none of this would have worked at all except for Marcia Winter, who put everything together and has everything done here. She's just done an incredible job, too. So I'd like a hand of applause for her as well, please. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Class Marshal Aylin Oberlees, followed by the National Anthem, sung by graduate Vivian Stringfellow.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Aylin and Vivian. Please be seated. According to CBS News and the Oxford Dictionary Online, the three most used words in 2020 and 2021 were pandemic, quarantine, and unprecedented. Unprecedented was the first most frequently used word, and I'm going to spare you a speech about the ways in which the class faced the unprecedented. Rather, as I speak to you today, I intend to reflect upon the times and the events of your Nashoba experience, which looked very much like a typical high school experience. When you arrived here as ninth graders, many of you were following the footsteps of older siblings and even parents. You would walk through the same hallways and even have some of the same teachers as the family members did before you. You were excited to begin high school, and the staff was excited to welcome you. Gradually, you would fall into a familiar routine, and the building would become less overwhelming. There isn't a swimming pool on the top floor. You figured out follow the rotating schedule, the split lunches, early release days. You made new friends and faced some unexpected challenges. You considered the clubs, sports, and activities to contribute to. In short, you started to settle in. As 10th graders, yours was a restless, spirited group. Not unlike legions of high school sophomores that came before you. With wide eyes, you observed the upperclassmen's successes, along with their sense of cool self-confidence in and around the building. They were involved in athletics, journalism, best buddies, drama, and the clubs. And they were getting their licenses and relishing life. You could barely wait to grab the brass rings for yourself. Junior year began as every junior year typically does. You had all heard that junior year is the hardest year, the year when grades really matter. Curriculum, including chemistry, high-level math, a formal research paper in English, and in some history classes as well. You changed your schedule when necessary and incorporated more electives suited for your own interests. You received your license and even took on part-time jobs. Friendships changed and new social connections formed. You were in the thick of it all. 3/4 of the way through your junior year, everything at Nashoba, as well as in your hometowns, the nation, and the world changed. The changes that came were not exactly welcome. Suddenly, being tested had nothing to do with academics, and you responded with the tools your education had provided you up until that point. You took on the tasks of helping out family members who could not leave their homes. You became responsible for delivering meals and providing rides. Others stepped into jobs that not everyone was either eager to take. You were frontline employees or essential workers. The expression having a real job took on a genuine significance. You met expectations that went well beyond Nashoba's academic and extracurricular bubble. You made your parents and teachers proud by juggling demands that had not been foreseen. You showed people that you were resilient and responsible. You didn't just give in, you persevered. Your resilience, responsibility, and perseverance were qualities that we could observe at the start of your senior year. There was a maturity that arguably was shaped by your time away from the classroom. Your remote attendance was commendable. When you returned, so did the familiar and welcome hum of students in the hallways, cafeteria, and extracurricular events. Time away from the classroom made many of you better, more appreciative of the happenings at Nashoba. In fact, in the way you shaped your new identity, you returned to evolve into wolves. You became a member of a fierce, strong, unified pack. The senior class forged new paths for the class to follow. Good for you. Now that pack is about to move ahead. Your paths will be unique, but the sense of oneness and community that is part of the pack will mark your high school years. Together, we will celebrate one of the most precedented events and rites of passage, high school graduation. It is your commencement ceremony. To commence actually means to begin. Commencement marks not the end, but a new beginning. You get a fresh start. I'm quite confident that the resilience, community, and flexibility of the class of 2021 makes you as ready as ever to start anew. The wisdom and experience you have gained over the past 4 years will surely be invaluable. And the adults who have walked the path by your side wish you all the best. Congratulations, class of 2021. At this time, I would like to invite Acting Superintendent Dr. Todd McGuire to the podium to deliver his message to the seniors.
Thank you, Principal Cullinane. Good morning. To the Nashoba Regional School Committee, administration, faculty and staff, community members, parents, friends, and to the graduates of the Nashoba Regional High School class of 2021. I welcome you all here this morning on this celebratory day to offer a few brief words on behalf of the NRSD administration. You've made it. You're here. Together with your families, your peers, and your teachers, we are finally able to come together as a collective community to celebrate your success as you graduate and walk into the next phases of your lives. For all of you, this has not been a traditional trajectory towards the finish line, nor has it been for your parents, your teachers, your families, and our global community. Traditionally, an education provides a foundation and a framework from which to build. Throughout one's education, he or she continues to strengthen that foundation through new learning, new experiences, and a designed framework built to prepare students for the anticipated next phases of their lives. We remember specific rites of passage: entry into kindergarten, that first concert performance in front of mom and dad, moving up day, anxiety over that first MCAS exam, initiation into middle school, freshman orientation, athletic banquets, opening night for the fall play, college visits, and planning for life after high school. In March 2020, that all changed, especially for you, class of 2021. As Frederick Douglass once said, a man or woman is worked upon by what he or she works on. He or she may carve out his or her circumstances, but the circumstances will carve him or her out as well. And they certainly did. As juniors, your high school experience changed dramatically. In the midst of looking towards the future, your circumstances changed, and you were all required to stop and adapt to a new way of living and learning. In the blink of an eye, in-person classes turned into distance learning. Zoom became a household name, and we all began our crash course in flexibility, adaptability, and perseverance. 3 tools that as high school graduates you all now have to place in that foundational toolkit, which will prepare you for what lies ahead. These are tools that are traditionally gleaned through one's life's experiences. For example, after graduation, we learn over time to adapt to a new environment, whether it be the workforce, college, the military, a gap year. This takes time to explore, time to ask questions, listen, and figure out what's the right fit. However, over the last year and a half, without choice, you've had to master how to be flexible and adaptable in a world of imminent change. Perseverance requires us to move through something, despite difficulty and delay in reaching the end goal. There is no doubt that this graduating class has had to persevere in making it to the finish line. When you were told that spring sports would be canceled and the spring musical could not go on, you persevered. You found alternatives and ways to still celebrate. Your teachers got creative and found new and innovative ways to engage you from home. We found ways to still participate in field trips, communicate with our classmates, and one by one pick up essential supplies at school that were prepared by your teachers and left outside for you to ensure the health and safety of those around us. Robert Frost once said that the best way is always through. How true. For you, it was the only way. But having gone through has given you the exposure, the confidence, and the grit you will need later in life to continue to persevere with success. Class of 2021, you are prepared, not only with the foundational toolkit required for life's next leap, but with the essential tools in that toolkit that over these past 16 months have forced you to be flexible, adaptable, and to persevere. These tools will serve you well and aid in lighting the way for others. In the words of our esteemed poet laureate Amanda Gorman, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Class of 2021, you are the light, for you've acquired the bravery to not only see it, but to be it for those who will follow you. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. McGuire. Next, I welcome to the podium class valedictorian Miranda Clack.
All right, everyone, we're almost done. I've decided to perform my speech as a sort of poem because I think it's really important to find the fun in simple things. So I want to start by looking back at all the things we, as Nashoba students, have collectively accomplished. We have a class filled with inventive minds, vigorous bodies, and compassionate souls. We excelled athletically, dominating the competition in multiple different sports through multiple different years. We directed entrepreneurs to DECA, to nationals in DECA. We sent our robotics team to the world competition sophomore year. Our EMTs worked tirelessly to save lives. Our thespians put on stunning productions. Our yearbook team persevered and preserved memories in a pandemic. Such a diverse group of interests and skills, all arising from the same Nashoba class, but starting off on new diverging paths. And now let's shift forward, following those diverging paths. I can't tell you what the future holds or even equip you with adequate advice to handle it, but I can tell you that for the first time, your world is one of choice. The choice to dive deep into your passions and explore skill sets unique to you, to attend college or join the workforce and do whatever it is you want to do. We've proven through our high school accomplishments that we have the aptitude and ability to succeed in our pursuits. And even more importantly, our determination to meet a plethora of challenges has proven we are resolute. And it's a good thing we all have personal prowess and drive, because life is what you make of it. You define your own success. You define your own happiness. And sure, the world of work and politics and current events can seem heavy and full of commotion, but keep in mind that your reality is largely shaped by your perception. So rejoice in this new balance between responsibility and freedom. Take solace in the fact that you've learned from phenomenal faculty, and follow your own path into the future. Now, I've reminisced about the past and reveled in the prospects of the future. So all that's left is the present, this moment, the now. It slips quickly into the past and flies at us from the future, and is the only actionable state of time. A quote from Alice Walker reads, "Look closely at the present you are constructing. It should look like the future you are dreaming." To close, I want to share some relevant words of wisdom from those I greatly respect in this class, as an individual generally fails to represent an entire population. Your classmates have learned that there is so much more to the world than they once thought, that perfection is impossible, but challenging oneself is always worth a shot. They've learned that being alone is not the same thing as being lonely, but that when you are with someone, it's always worth telling them you care. They've learned that everyone is capable of impacting someone else's life, so make sure your interactions are filled with love and support and help people to thrive. One person also apparently learned a microwave brownie recipe that I seriously debated including, but unfortunately did not. The only piece of advice I can add to their wise words is this: go hug some trees. It's good for the soul, I promise. And I know I just said an individual can't represent a whole population, but I think I speak for everyone here when I say, I'm done.
Thank you, Miranda. Unfortunately, our next speaker was mistakenly left out of the program, but please help me welcome the class salutatorian, Matthew Taylor Chang.
Who am I? When I began high school, this was the question I thought I had to answer. But now, after 4 years of searching, I realized that it isn't important to find this answer during high school. Our time here is just one of many steps along the way. In a sense, finding our identity is like being given a box of puzzle pieces without knowing the picture they form. Each step along our journey helps us find how these pieces fit together, slowly bringing the picture into view. It would be impossible for me to thank everyone who has helped me figure out how these pieces fit, though I would like to recognize a few of the people and programs that impacted me. Dr. T, for making a complex subject both interesting and challenging. The 2 classes that I took with her, despite me not planning to study math, were among the best classes I took in my 4 years here. Dr. Murphy, for sparking my interest in chemistry and for providing me with a strong foundation for college where I plan to study biochemistry. Mr. Fortiani, for pushing me to always do my best. His tireless commitment to Nashoba robotics demonstrates what we can all accomplish when we put our minds to it. Senora Diaz, for introducing me to Spanish TV and music. In fact, some of my favorite shows from the last couple years were Spanish Netflix originals like Elite, Las Chicas del Cable, and La Casa de Papel. And lastly, I would like to take some extra time to appreciate those that have made the EMT program here at Nashoba a reality. Since their first class over 30 years ago, hundreds of students have been able to explore our interests in helping people while becoming nationally certified EMTs. For me personally, this program has been instrumental in exploring my long-standing passion for medicine. Thanks to Nashoba EMS, I have an opportunity to pursue my advanced EMT certification at Rice University next year, something typically only available to upperclassmen. I'm sure that all of us can reflect on similar influences that we found here at Nashoba, whether they be friends, teachers, or programs. However, it would be naive to assume that our entire high school career has been so positive. We're now at the tail end of a once-in-a-lifetime event that has tried to stop us from succeeding. But even during our greatest challenges, like the last year and a half, we have the chance to learn more about who we are. We did not let ourselves be stopped forever. We persevered and found friends. We continued finding ourselves. Though all of us still have a lot of pieces left to assemble in our puzzle, each of our pictures has begun to form thanks to our time at Nashoba. I wish everyone the best of luck as we leave Nashoba and take our next steps in finding out who we are.
Thank you, Matthew. Each year, a committee of faculty members chooses our Nashoban speech from a large group of student applicants. This year, Elizabeth Romeo has chosen to read her Nashoba speech. I would like to now invite Elizabeth Romeo to the podium, please.
Good morning, class of 2021. I am honored to be standing before you celebrating our long-awaited graduation after the most challenging year most of us have faced. I know I am so very happy to be here celebrating with you all in person. We did it. If I were to follow traditional graduation speech themes, I may say, go change the world. The world is your oyster. Go do big things. But I think we've all heard this message enough. I am here encouraging us all to try something different instead. I am challenging us all to not do big things, but to go do small things. Please hear me out. I would like to ask you all to think about your best Nashoba memories. What stands out to you? Maybe it was the first day of freshman year, a big win at a game, a concert you played in, getting a good grade on a project you worked hard on, or a play you performed in. You get my point. But actually, I would like to argue that it may be the small moments that hold a greater significance. These could include the impact of a teacher who lets students paint their hands and feet all over his classroom walls and ceiling. Or the moment a teacher went out of their way to attend your sports game and made you feel supported, talented, and full of worth. Maybe it was a teacher who posed a daily question during remote learning that made you think she truly cared about you as a person and not just about the curriculum. Or maybe one of these moments was a high five from a best buddy or a Krispy Kreme donut from Decca. Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." When I look back at my favorite Nashoba memories, the things that stick out to me most are the small moments that someone built me up or shared a genuine laugh. These moments have made a difference in my life and have become a part of the great memories that I will take with me as I move on from high school. During my freshman year of high school, my English class studied the famous Shakespearean play Romeo and Juliet with my teacher. He led us through the material with exuberant and expressive reenactments of the famous play, adding humor and engagement to an otherwise boring subject to teenagers. He made each and every one of us excited to go to school. And at the end of the year, after we all coasted through our English final, he gave us all a small coin that read, "I rule." And I've still kept that coin today. I felt so connected to my classmates because of his engagement and the shared sense of community that he created. He made the class fun and allowed me to feel like the teacher truly cared about us. I will never forget the way he made me feel. Moments and memories like this taught me to think about how I should treat others in my future interactions. Now, as you recall these memories, I challenge you to think about what people will remember about you. While people may remember a great big accomplishment like a performance, a touchdown or a goal to win the game, or a perfect SAT score, I would like to argue that our small moments are just as important. As you walk away from Nashoba Regional High School, be on the lookout for opportunities in small moments where you could make a difference. This could be eating at a dining hall with someone who could use some company, striking up a conversation with a peer, or complimenting a coworker. We should never underestimate the power of small things, because so often this is where the biggest difference is made. Congratulations, everyone. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
The senior class traditionally presents a gift to the school on behalf of the entire class. At this time, I'd like to invite Sam Crotu, the class president, to the podium to present the class gift.
Good morning, everyone. Parents, teachers, family members, and my fellow students. It is amazing to see you all here today. I'd like to start by extending a massive thank you to all of the teachers and faculty. This past year was chaotic, going from full remote to hybrid and from hybrid to full return. Through all of this, you always give your best to us. We truly appreciate all the work you did this year to make the most out of such a situation. Now, like so many of us, I've spent the majority of this past year at home. And with this time, one of the things I've been working on is a genealogy project for my uncle. I find this fascinating. With the aid of a census, a will, or a grainy black and white image, I'm able to bring someone's story back to life. While almost all these documents are transcribed in the mystical language that's cursive, which, to to my grandmother's great dismay, I still can't read. It's really apparent to me how similar the story of the graduating class of 1921 is to our own. This class, members of our country's greatest generation, was one that was doused in tragedy, yet refused to be defined by it. The pandemic was in 1918. The war, the soon-to-be renamed Great War, and the financial collapse a few years away in the Great Depression. Whereas we were introduced to the iPhone, their age was one of the car, of the radio, and the telephone. They had Charlie Chaplin, we have TikTok. Anyways, in a time as unprecedented as the one we found ourselves in this year, I found it comforting to know that a generation of Americans was able to endure a pandemic without the modern conveniences that made time pass for us. To know that in an era that predated penicillin, they were able to win against their virus. We can too. While external events can dominate our lives, it's the choices we make and causes we fight for that truly define us. In the midst of the 1918 pandemic, 35 states ratified the 19th Amendment, ensuring that women have the right to vote. This was a triumph of the highest magnitude, but a century later, women still aren't paid as much as men. Even after half a century of civil rights legislation, the fight for equality still continues. While this slow pace of change is disheartening, it means that we have work to do. Like those high schoolers 100 years ago, we can help to bring about the next generation of change. It's in this spirit of drive and perseverance that we accept the challenge from the class of 2020, and we will be giving 2 $500 scholarships to the class of 2022. We hope that this gift can empower the next generation of conscientious citizens and laudable leaders, and we put forth the same challenge set upon us to the class of 2022. From getting lost in the hallways freshman year to playing soccer on this very field 3 weeks ago, it was a pleasure to go through high school with each and every one of you. And I wish you all the best in whatever fields you pursue. While this year was a sobering one for us all, I firmly believe that we can emerge from it into a better world. And as we head off into this world, remember the values we hold dear, the power of perseverance, and that you are in charge of your future. We look back on the triumphs of the past with reverence, and as we look forward to the next century, let us create a legacy that is spoken about with the same regard. Thank you.
In just a moment, we will award the diplomas. It is what we've all been coming here to witness, your child walking across the stage with the diploma in hand. It's a joyous occasion, and on behalf of the graduates, I ask that you hold your applause until all names have been read, so each name can be heard by their families and friends, and the graduates can receive their diplomas in a setting truly befitting this significance. The graduates' names will be announced by Assistant Principals John Kroll and Janine Boulet.
Miranda Lee Clack, summa cum laude. Matthew Jake Taylor Chang, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Victoria Romeo, cum laude. Samuel Truman Croto, magna cum laude. Edward Yervant Eric Naroyan. Leo Anton Lukasevich. Kylie Devin Pierce, summa cum laude. Jessica Azaria Klausner, magna cum laude. Leo is also cum laude. Sorry, I missed that. Hanner Javier Acosta. Jack Francis Ahern. Cameron Joseph Albert, cum laude. Audrey Rose Arsenal, cum laude. Casey Scott Arsenal. Patrick George Arsenal. Neil Arian, cum laude. Bowden William Oren, cum laude. Abigail Summers Ayotte, cum laude. Luke Edward Bagdonis, summa cum laude. Rose Marie Bailey. Kendra Faye Zitelmo Barksdale. Emily Rose Barnes, magna cum laude. Jessica Lee Barshak. Sarah Michelle Bartlett. Katie Charlotte Bateman, magna cum laude. Tiana Marie Bezidlo. Lauren Hannah Bashara, summa cum laude. May Shu N. Bell, magna cum laude. Sydney Rose Bell, magna cum laude. Daniel Eugene Bergen, cum laude. Emma Kate Barabee. Hunter Troy Basheo, cum laude. Freya Olivia Blackmore, summa cum laude. Esther Haley Flood. Grace Rebecca Belinsky, magna cum laude. Abigail Lee Bond, magna cum laude. Christina Lynn Bonfilio, magna cum laude. Finley Fraser Booth. Aiden Eric Boutot. Jack Parker Boyle. Shaylin Marie Brito. Caitlin Marie Burns. Elizabeth Bailey Bayuk. Allison Mary Carrara, cum laude. Felipe Martin Sirioni, summa cum laude. Leah Cherry, cum laude. Konstantin Filipenko Childs, cum laude. Emma Jean Conant, cum laude. Ian Michael Condon, magna cum laude. Hannah Rose Connolly, summa cum laude. Eamon Anders Connolly. Abigail Emma Kroll, magna cum laude. Jason Bernard Colkins. Lauren Rose Cummins. Shauna Lee Curran. Paul Robert Dean. Sarah Ann DiClemente, magna cum laude. Rocco Joseph DiDomenico. Morgan Kelly Diefenbach. Danielle Ann Deitel, cum laude. Polly Christine Sr. Joshua Peter DiGeronimo, cum laude. Cecilia May DeVerde, cum laude. Sophia Rose Dixon, cum laude. Harvey Thomas Dolan, cum laude. Amy Elizabeth Doran, cum laude. James Collins Drought, summa cum laude. Andrew Donald Dre. Lily Jacqueline Dupre, summa cum laude. Lauren Avery Duvarney. Hannah Lucille Davis Edwards, cum laude. Nyla Ray Erickson. Matthew Joseph Irvin, magna cum laude. Christian Lee Esty, cum laude. William Kern Fala. Sophia Michelle Farinella, magna cum laude. Kenneth Robert Ferris, cum laude. Samantha Abigail Felt. Zachary Simon Fisher. Hannah Louise Fish. Leo Brennan Fitzgerald. Kelly Aniela Fleming, cum laude. Grant Evan Follensby. Joseph Robert Fontaine. Lydia Laurel Foster Smith, summa cum laude. Ryan Samuel Franklin. Samuel Kenyil Frankie. Sydney Madeline Friend. Kenneth Gregory Frommer. Christina Marie Galeski. Henry Ronald Garrick, magna cum laude. William Michael Gervais. Allison Marie Galuli, cum laude. Bradley Stephen Goulding. Caroline Patricia Goyette, magna cum laude. Connor William Green. Allison Elizabeth Gruca. Aiden Augustin Hanley, cum laude. Jack Thomas Hannigan. Isaac Matthew Hartman. Carly Drew Henderson. Madeline Elizabeth Hill, magna cum laude. Isabella Nicole Hogan, magna cum laude. Caitlin Lane Hollister, magna cum laude. Caroline Grace Howland. Maeve Vita Hughes. Megan Elizabeth Irvin, magna cum laude. Harrison Todd Jorn, magna cum laude. Graham Gaynor Josephson, cum laude. Joshua Joseph Kerbel. Henry Walter King. Madeline Tilly Rose King.
At this time, Dr. McGuire and Ms. Boulay will be doing the presentations.
Morgan Daniel King. Justin Edward Klinkhammer, cum laude. Maxwell Charles Kosterich. Wesley Philip Kalenda. Peter Vincent LaFrance. Colleen Cecile Laird, summa cum laude. Victoria Ann Lane, magna cum laude. Benjamin Bentecourt LaPlante. Grace Caroline Lawrence, magna cum laude. Justin Joseph LeBlanc, cum laude. Lauren Ann Leonard, cum laude. Seda Quinn Libby Grantham, magna cum laude. Maggie Lorenzo Keene. Cameron David Little. Abigail Grace McDonald. Alexandra Grace McDonald. Haley Diane McDonald, magna cum laude. Sydney Rosa Machado. Rachel Lee McGuire. Peter Stewart Maitland, magna cum laude. Ryan Eric Malkowski, cum laude. Hannah Elizabeth Marland. Natalie Brooks Marshall. Andrew Redfield Matthews. Haley Ann May, magna cum laude. Andrew Joseph McDonald. Riley Patricia McGowan. Thora Catherine McIsaac, summa cum laude. Riley Joy McKenna, summa cum laude. Nevin Joseph McNamara. Ashley Melissa Marrow. Fedleen Teresa Munier. Peter Justice Mitchell. Mitchell. Connor Andrew McNow, summa cum laude. Kellen Thompson Montgomery. Joshua Michael Morrison. Nikhil Kevin Monroe. Christopher Michael Noonan. Judah Kaya Nutting, cum laude. Christopher Joseph O'Connell. Taylor Josephine O'Connor. Siobhan Sarang O'Hagan. Parker Coley O'Sullivan, magna cum laude. Daniel Liam Oberlees. Erin Elizabeth Oberlees, summa cum laude. Peter Tyler Ogerholm. Nayli Tavares Oliveira. Benjamin Scott Olson, cum laude. Lee Copeland Painter, magna cum laude. Ryan Anthony Palter. Jillian Grace Payne. Tyler Robert Pelletier. Jason William Peralt. Dylan Liam Petrie, cum laude. Christopher Colin Petter, magna cum laude. John William Pearson. Nathan Wyman Pock. Spencer Royce Powell, cum laude. Brendan Peter Quinn. John Stephen Quinn. Humza Ahmed Qureshi. Aiden Benjamin Ramirez. Emily Elizabeth Ramos. Natasha Vanessa Ramos. Ethan Paul Revel. Stephen Jeffrey Ritchie. George Hamispar Robertson, sorry. Alexander John Roca, summa cum laude. Zoe Elise Rogers, summa cum laude. Devin William Roth. Andrew Richard Ruthier. Olivia Joan Ruscioni, cum laude. Madison Taylor Sart, cum laude. Joseph James Saborin. Allie Grace Sahlberg, summa cum laude. Emily Lauren Sandberg, summa cum laude. Trevor Robert Shartner. Maria Annalisa Schmidt. Reese Eric Shepke, cum laude. Eli Jack Champ, cum laude. Anand Christopher Sharma. Alexander Liam Shoemaker. Julia Sidopoulos, cum laude. Aiden Philip Slater. Kyra Birch Spedden, cum laude. Caitlin Rose Stearns, magna cum laude. Chloe Patricia Stone, magna cum laude. Vivian May Stringfellow. Callie Elizabeth Suarez. William Matthew Susi, magna cum laude. Joshua Elias Tadmore. Corey James Thaxton, cum laude. Noah Chase Totsi. Jillian Nora Tracky, magna cum laude. Sophia Emerson Treywick, summa cum laude. Jake McLean Tremblay. Annika Mary Ashley Tuttle. Matthew John Urbano, magna cum laude. Karina Marie Vangel. Ty Thomas Vitkowski. Justin Brian Vyas. Jack Francis Wanamaker. Daniel Patrick Wiedock. James David Webster. Jonas Tanner Ware, magna cum laude. Dylan Amory Whalen, magna cum laude. Caitlin Marie Wilson. Blake Buchanan Winsman. Brittany Elizabeth Ewan. Madeline Isabel Zacchini, magna cum laude. Anna Elizabeth Zay. Emma Loretta Zinn.
Will all of our graduates please rise? You've all worked very hard for the past 13 years, and today is the day to celebrate your accomplishment. At this time, I ask that all graduates move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations to you all. Please join me in congratulating the Nashoba senior class of 2021. Thank you for coming.